Hello, welcome back to the KNOW program, What's Everything For? This is video 2 of 2. Now you need to know a bit more about energy, basic energy, which is true energy, a flour of the bread, if you like, as far as energy is concerned. And then you get organizing or life energy, which is the conducting of that basic energy into shape. And there are two types of organizing energy. Basic energy allows for existence of base matrix at each level of existence. Just be aware that the base matrix remains simultaneously present at all levels, and these are interspersed and intertwined and contained within each other. It's a concept that we don't understand in our 3D physical world. Think of radio waves, and our radio waves can go through walls and can go through your body undisturbed, and you can listen to the radio quite easily without any problem. Basic energy within one level and within another level and is very different, but is interspersed. So that it remains simultaneously present at all levels. And it's affected by organizing energy, what I call life energy, within each and every level, and it's affected in a different way, in a different manner. So organizing energy affects and organizes base matrix to create very complex experiencing possibilities at each level. And it remains simultaneously present at all levels. So this organizing energy is remaining within each level, and they're all interspersed, and it is split into higher and lower. So the organizing energy is split into higher and lower. As far as the basic energy is concerned, just be aware that it creates in the subatomic. It's not creating at a level of magnitude that you can relate to in our daily life, but it is creating at a subatomic level within the quantum physics experiments as they break matter down to the tiniest particles, down to the tiniest bits of energy. They're actually bleeping in and out of existence many, many times per fraction of a second. That is created by this basic energy, and that is how then atoms are then formed and molecules and so on, but it starts off in the subatomic. The base matrix is created at each level, as I just said, and it is affected in a different manner at each level by the organizing energy. And it's ongoing, and by that I mean it doesn't stop, it's ongoing, it's automatic, and the reactions are predictable. The quantum physics reactions, the atomic reactions, the molecular and chemical reactions, they're predictable and they're repeatable. So, and then the organizing energy. Now, I'm going to make some broad statements and just pay attention to each of the words. I'm going to go slowly through each of these. I said it's split into higher and lower. Looking at the lower organizing energy first, which is tethered to the lower 3 levels of existence. Our physical level, the one just above and the one above that. These are life energies, the organizing energy. So the first or lower organizing energy, it creates a linked and eternal group life awareness, which has reduced intelligence. By reduced intelligence, remember I spoke about the awareness becoming narrower and narrower as we move down, quite dramatically from level to level. That awareness also talks to intelligence, and infinite intelligence compared to ego intelligence is dramatically different, to such a point in difference that there aren't words to explain how much reduced our intelligence is as we start getting down to linear thought and animalistic ego intelligence. But nevertheless, it has some intelligence, but it's reduced because of this narrowing, and this organizes the base matrix at each of these levels. Remember, we're talking about the 3 lower levels, and it gives origin to separate and temporary experiencing entities, which are not eternal. These separate and temporary experiencing entities are not eternal in themselves, but they are given origin from that group life awareness, which is eternal and continuous. So it basically is a group awareness giving rise to these temporary, not eternal, short-lived entities that allow it to experience and interact at each of the levels, the lower levels. And then the second or higher organizing energy that is tethered to levels higher up. We'll go into those in the next workshops as to what levels they are exactly. These create higher intelligence and higher awareness eternal entities, which are always interconnected and experiencing in an interconnected fashion, but yet still remain individualized. And then these organize the base matrix at their levels to create experiencing. And as I said, tethered to these higher levels, but they can couple down for variety and intensity. And the coupling down means a joining in a specific manner with the lower temporary entity for a period of time. And we'll get into more detail in the next 2 workshops on that. But they can couple down for variety and intensity of experience, and there is growth through experience. So the lower organizing energy as an ability to organize, and it affects base matrix differently at each of the levels it's tethered to. It's ongoing through reproduction. It doesn't start and stop. There's a continuous ongoing life, if you like, both plant and animal, and it doesn't stop. Since the beginning of when life started to happen, it continues. And then you have their presence in the 3 lower levels of existence. As I said, that's where this lower organizing energy is tethered to. And there's a group awareness on a spectrum, an awareness that is not only on a spectrum as far as the different groups are concerned, but the groups can migrate over time and can move along the spectrum as they become more specialized and as they develop stronger faculties in the highest of their tetherings. Then as far as the higher organizing energy, it is present in higher levels of existence. It also affects base matrix there in a different way on each level, as I've said before. These entities that are now created by this high organizing energy can experience lower levels, and there are benefits to that, by a temporary association or coupling, as I've mentioned, but at all times remain connected and can access infinite intelligence. And they can affect and they can control the lower organizing entity through will and through an inner intention. And that will become key as we move along when it comes to emotional and mental control. So this is the what's everything for? Know what is duality for? The good versus evil is always dependent on the perspective. Creating the base matrix at all levels is basic energy, and organizing life energy will create living entities. And knowing this motivates you to take action by going within. Just a note on feeling whole versus being whole. The goal in the previous workshop was learning to detach from the early life default ego awareness, and then learning to increase the periods of observing the observer, which then leads us closer to being consciously aware of our true inner self, a level that is closer to all that is, and making us feel whole. And now the goal is to go even further and to allow our conscious awareness to benefit by receiving direct intuition and guidance, as well as complex concepts, not just linear thought, and even solutions and hidden knowledge from a source which our ego does not have access to, and resulting in truly being whole. So the actions to take on what's everything for in the action videos are to consciously experience the benefits of intuition and inner guidance from your inner self, and then are to access infinite intelligence and knowledge consciously. And with that all said, let's keep going.